Hi friends, today I'm going to teach you how to calculate mean value, standard deviation, standard error of mean and coefficient of variation from this data through our software. So I'll be teaching you to calculate these variables from both 1 factorial experiment and 2 factorial experiment. Here you can see my sample data. This is for 1 factorial experiment. So before that, please don't forget to subscribe and like the videos of my channel so that you can be updated about the further more videos. So this is the sample data of 1 factorial experiment. I'll be saving this file is on CSV format on the folder YouTube. So you have to save this file in the format CSV comma delimited. Here, opening the R software, the interface looks like this. This is for console where you can get results. Here in this box you can keep your command, and this is for the packages. So at first you have to share the working directory. For this you have to click on the option session, and then you have to click on the option set your working directory, and then you have to choose the directory. For working directory you have to choose the folder on which you have kept your data. Like I have kept my data on the folder YouTube, that's why I'm choosing YouTube folder as my working directory. Now I have already set up my working directory, and then you have to use this command where you just have to change the name of your file. Like on the R software you just have to change the file name as 1 fact, then this file will be considered as the file data here, and then you have to click on this command view data, and my data looks like this. Then this data should be attached to the software. The next step here is setting the factor, like replication and variety here is independent factor, and plant height PS1 and PS2 are a dependent factor. That's why I'm setting factors here. So data factor replication is already set here, and then another factor is variety here. You can change the name of that factor here. So for 1 factorial I have set my factor here, and for calculation I just need these 3 commands. On this, what you have to do is you need mean value, standard deviation and standard error value according to your treatment. The treatment here is my variety, that's why I'll be changing the name here as variety. Then boom, the result is here. So this command, the write CSV, this is for saving the Excel or CSV file on your working directory. Here you can change the name here, like mean variety. If you run this command, then you're ready to view file is already saved on your folder. The mean variety you can see here. So according to the different parameter like plant height, the mean value you can see here, and then standard error, standard deviation, standard error and coefficient of variation. Likewise for plant spread, the mean value is here, standard deviation value is here, standard error of mean is here, and coefficient of variation is here. So by following these simple steps you can calculate coefficient of variation, standard error of mean, standard deviation and mean value. Likewise for the 2 factorial experiment, the sample data is here. Here you can see the replication. The factor A of my experiment was dead, that's why I have kept name date here, and factor B was treatment, that's why this is the column for factor A and factor B. Then here you can see the dependent variables like PS2, PS3, PS3, P, LIF1 and LIF2. So to calculate mean, standard deviation, standard error value, I'll go to the software R. Then again you have to set the working directory. Again I'm going to save this file into CSV format, so I'll be saving this file on the same folder, and I'll keep the name as short as possible so that it will be easy for me to change the name in our software. So I'll be saving this again in CSV format. So the CSV file looks like this. Then I'll go to the software R. I have already set up the working directory. If you are doing new data analysis or doing that analysis for the first time, you can again set the working directory. I have already set up the working directory, so I won't be repeating that again. After that, the name of my file here is toFact. That's why I'll be changing the file name here to fact, and then after viewing data, the data looks like this here, and then I have to attach this. Then I need to set the factors. The factors here is replication, date and treatment. That's why I'll be changing the name to rep and then another factor is date, so next factor is TRT. It's already here, so I won't be changing the file name. I have set up the factor. Now I need these three commands, but for the 2 factorial experiment, you have calculated the mean value and standard deviation value of value according to the factors. Like I need result according to date only, and also according to treatment only, and I also need result of interaction between data and treatment. That's why I'll be repeating these steps 3 times. At first, to calculate the average value of date, average value of dependent variable according to date, I need to change this to date, and then it's here, the result is here. To save this result in working directory, I'll be changing the name here, otherwise the file which is in this name will be replaced. That's why I'll be changing this to mean date. Now it is saved in the working directory folder. Then I need result according to treatment also, so I'll be changing this name to TRT. Okay, the result is here. Now again I need to change the file name here, otherwise the average value which was saved on the working directory folder will be replaced. So mean TRT. So for the values according to interaction, I just need to do factor A into factor B here. So boom, the result is here, and I again need to change the file name, mean date TRT. Okay, so let's see the result and working directory folder. It's already here, mean date, mean TRT, and mean date and TRT. So this is the mean value according to treatment date. There were 2 date or 2 factor A, that's why the mean value is here. Standard deviation, standard error of mean, and coefficient of variation you can see here. And then this is the result according to treatment, like mean of plant height, standard deviation, standard error of mean, coefficient of variation likewise. the result of other variables, and this is the result according to interaction value. This is factor A and this is factor B, the interaction of date 1 and treatment 0. You can see the result here. Land height according to mean, standard deviation, standard error of mean, and coefficient of variation. So just by following these simple steps, you can calculate huge results in just few minutes. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.